And boom, we are live. Welcome in, my dudes. Hope everyone's doing absolutely great today. So, we're going to be checking out the new Drown in Sulphur track called Descendent Sunrise. Now, obviously, there's a little bit of a backstory, a little bit of a history with this band, and obviously the link between Defamed and Drown in Sulphur. That's where a lot of the backstory comes from, and I'm going to take some amount of time to address this, because I think it would be very strange to not address it, because that's kind of just like the elephant in the room, isn't it? You know what I mean? So, for those of you that don't know, Defamed is made up of 4 members of Drown in Sulphur. The only original member of Drown in Sulphur left is the drummer. Now, the narrative seems to be at the moment that the drummer from Drown in Sulphur hijacked the band. I heard something about social media accounts, and basically kicked out all 4 of the other members, and people seem to have sided with Defamed, and everyone's kind of just seemed, the general consensus seems to be that the drummer from Drown in Sulphur is just a bit of a dick, basically. Now, first of all, we don't really know what happened there. Okay? In today's culture, once a narrative is written, it's very, very difficult to reverse that. So, if the narrative right at the very beginning was the drummer's a bit of a douche, and he acted douchily, and he kicked everyone out of the band, then that's just kind of gonna be the narrative going forward, and it's gonna be very difficult for this for anyone to believe anything else. But ultimately, we don't actually know what happened. It seems to be reasonable to presume that the drummer kicked everyone out of the band, but my question is, why did he do that? What actually happened? Maybe the other 4 members of the band were being dicks to him. Maybe there's more stuff going on behind the scenes. Actually, of course there's more stuff going on behind the scenes. So, we don't actually know what happened, and ultimately I don't really think it matters, because I don't know about you guys, I'm here to listen to some tunes. I'm here to listen to some face-peeling solos, some toilet bowl, garbage disposal vocals, some slams, some atmospherics, some everything. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to appreciate extreme metal and promote it as best I can. Okay? The history of this band, the connections between Defamed and Drown in Sulphur, whatever the actual truth of the matter was there, whatever happened, it seems to be that both the bands, it seems to be that lots of other people care a lot more about the history than the actual bands do themselves, from what I can see, but someone can correct me. But I don't hear Defamed talking shit, and I've not seen the drummer from Drown in Sulphur talking shit about Defamed. It seems to be a ceasefire between the two of them. They seem to have just parted in amicable ways. So if they've done that, everyone else's should as well, because it's ancient history, isn't it? Like who really cares, you know? So there's that. Then there's this tribalism that seems to be coming out, because what I always do before I react to a song is I go and read the comments just to see, see what's going on. And all I can see here, well, not all I can see, but I can see a lot of people going, I'm on Team Defamed, this song blows, the drummer from the drummer from Drown in Sulphur really shot himself in the foot because, so on and so forth, so on and so forth, right? I don't think that dividing an already very niche community down the middle in terms of you're on Team Defamed or you're on Team Sulphur is a particularly good idea, because the extreme metal community, as far as I can see at the moment, seems to be very inclusive. There's bands that are incorporating beatdown, bands that are incorporating metalcore, there's deathcore bands that are going a bit blackened, all over, right? So what's going to happen there is that you're going to get slightly crusty old guys that have been playing beatdown since fucking 1920s or whatever, and you're going to get fresh blood coming through that are playing blackened deathcore like Worm Shepherd, for example. To to combine all these musical styles together, you're going to get lots and lots of different people with different viewpoints and different histories and all that, and all that type of stuff. So dividing it down the middle, we don't need more division. There's enough division outside of the extreme metal community. Haven't you noticed? I don't think it's very good for the extreme metal community, because then it turns into, oh, this guy defended the drummer from drowning Sulphur, so I'm not going to tour with it. I'm not going to tour with this band, and like, fuck this guy and all that. We don't need that. We don't need that. I'm just here for the music, and I kind of presume that everyone else is here for the music as well. Another thing is that there's going to be a lot of people going, oh, Defamed are just so much better than Drowning Sulphur. People are going to be picking their sides, right? Oh, Defamed are just so much better. They won, okay? I don't think there's a contest. I don't think just because, like that to me is like saying, do you like Nirvana or do you like the Foo Fighters? You have to pick one, and you have to be on a side, right? It can't just be that you like one more than the other. It has to actually be that you've got the Foo Fighters here, or you've got Nirvana on your t-shirt, and that's it. It needs to be one or the other. Now, I personally like the Foo Fighters better than Nirvana, but there's room for the two of them, and it doesn't have to be opposition. It doesn't have to be, these guys got 50,000 views, these guys got 75,000 views, therefore it's a victory for my team, or it's a victory for that team. That doesn't work. That doesn't fly for me. I'm just not interested in it. And I say again, I just don't think it's helpful to anything. And another point as well is that if you compare Defamed had an incredible 2020. Okay? They really, really did. They released an amazing EP. They promoted themselves really well, and they released 4 singles that were just absolutely goddamn fantastic. And I think that just seems to be an agreement across the community, across the cult, for want of a better word, that we're in. Everyone just seems to like Defamed, okay? So if you compare Defamed to Drowning Sulphur, no matter what this song's going to sound like, I heard some of Drowning Sulphur's the stuff that they've done without the members of Defamed. I actually thought it was pretty good. But if you compare anyone that released any music to Defamed are going to come out better than that band. No disrespect to anybody else, but Defamed just really, really, they had such a fucking good year. So going, Drowning Sulphur are worse than Defamed, therefore Defamed won. No, Defamed are better than, I would say, like 85-90% of the stuff that was released in 2020, so it doesn't mean anything. Drowning Sulphur, what they're releasing not being as good as Defamed is like, well, yeah, okay, have you heard Defamed? Like, fucking hell, those guys are incredibly talented, you know? So, it doesn't work for me. Doesn't work for me at all. You got to keep that in mind. Defamed are better than so many other bands. You know, it doesn't have, it's just not a contest. You know, it doesn't have to be a contest. And yeah, Defamed are just really, really good, regardless of what this song sounds like. One more point I'm going to make as well, right, is that let's just say that the drummer is completely in the wrong here. The drummer from Drowning Sulphur, he acted shittily to all his bandmates. He fucked them over. And here we are, okay, right? Let's just say hypothetically that's the case, okay? It's just like 99% of the responsibility is on him, and Defamed are just innocent, basically, okay? They didn't do anything wrong, okay? Okay, hypothetically, okay, so fucking what, okay? So fucking what? People make mistakes. People act in ways that they wish that they hadn't, okay? But usually when you act in a shitty way, it's between maybe your brother, your sister, your mum, your friend, your work colleagues, so on and so forth, right? Everyone makes mistakes, but if it's just on a one-on-one basis, okay, you might sever a couple of friendships. Maybe you know, like you have to, you know, you have to you have to be really careful what you say at Thanksgiving and all that type of stuff. But when you're part of a band, and I didn't realize how big Drowning Sulphur were, actually. I wasn't a particularly big fan, but they've got millions of views, which is huge when you're playing this type of music. When there's all that money, all that fame, all that stuff going on, and it's a group of friends, one little mistake, one mistake here, one bad thing, it spirals just in such a bigger way than just... If those guys were just friends and they were just in a just playing they were just a tiny little band, that's one thing. But when you're talking about a band that's as well known as them, then yeah, of course everything's going to get amplified, isn't it? Of course, everything's going to get amplified, right? So him making a simple mistake seems to be the same as me making a simple mistake or anybody else. What's wrong with just forgiveness? What's wrong with just going, okay, you fucked up, you're human. Maybe, and again, hypothetically, I'm just saying if that is the case. Yeah, so what? You fucked up. Okay, hypothetically, you did a bad thing. I'm here for the music, isn't everybody else? Can we not just forgive him and move on? The bands seem to have, so why does anyone else have to? From seeing how Drown and Sulphur conduct themselves, I just don't imagine that they want any kind of competition between these two bands. I just can't imagine it. Just looking at those guys, seeing how positive they are, I can't imagine anyone wants this. It really just isn't helpful, right? And another thing as well is this just going to kind of be the rule going forward now before we can actually say that a band is good? So like if we find out that Dave from Signs of the Swarm kicked his dog like 15 years ago, do we now go, oh fuck it, okay, right, well we can't listen to him, he made a mistake? Every single person makes a mistake. Obviously, if you're a Nazi or something, then yeah, okay, cool. But that's not the case. You know what I mean? You could actually, not very likely, you can go back through someone's life and you could find a shitty thing that they did because people make mistakes. So for me, let's just kind of leave that out for as best we can. Because this is the only time I'm really going to talk about this because it's relevant, but it doesn't interest me. But like I said at the beginning, it would be weird. It'd be really, really weird to like just ignore it, you know. Fuck all that shit. Let's just listen to some tunes. That's what we're here to do. That's what I'm here to do. I'm here to promote music that I like, and I think everyone else is here to basically just listen and possibly promote it as well. So let's get on with some music. I think I'm very, very likely going to put a timestamp down in the comments along with links to Drown and Sulphur's socials and all that, just in case someone that has no interest in this, they can just hit the timestamp and then they can just go straight to the music. I'm not sure if I'm going to do that, but if anyone did make it through these 12 minutes, thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. I hope it made sense. So, without further ado, Drown and Sulphur. I think they've released 2 other tracks. I think it was 2 other tracks, which I thought were decent. Obviously, it got a lot of dislikes because of all the reasons that I said before, but I've made my feelings perfectly clear on that. I think it doesn't have to be one or the other. So, okie dokie. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, Drown and Sulphur, Descendent Sunrise. Let's get into it. See you on the other side. Shout out to Slam Worldwide, because, why not? Let's see what we got here. Ooh. Those vocals are cool, and I'm loving the pinch harmonics. Loving them. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, I like that. That's cool. That guitar work is awesome, man. Oh, very cool. Very cool. Hold on to your butts. Yeah, this goes pretty fucking hard, like, this is good. Okay. Drowning Sulphur. Descendent Sunrise. There we go. Okay. I dug the shit out of that. That was cool. That was really, really cool. I like the guitar work. I've got a serious soft spot for pinch harmonics. I just love them. Those were some really, really nice pinch harmonics, and there was some unique guitar work in there as well. I don't know if it's how they were like producing. There we go. Second time's a charm. Maybe it was how they were, but maybe it was a different scale, maybe it was a slightly different tuning for what we're used to in deathcore, maybe it was how it was played, how it was produced, so on and so forth. But I thought the guitar work really, really, really stuck out. I thought the production value, full stop, was actually just really, really cool. The lyrics were pretty good as well, actually. The lyrics seemed very, very cool. I like the vocals, the layering of the vocals. I think it was within the first minute of the song was really, really cool. There was some really, really cool, like, kind of like open notes. I'm not sure if that's how you call it, but like where they kind of like, and then they let, reverb a little bit. That was really cool. It had a really, really immense type of epic feel to it. That's just really good. Just really, really, really solid stuff from Drowning Sulphur. I liked it a lot, and I'm pretty sure everyone else will be impressed as well. And I just hope that people don't just instinctively, like Team Defamed people don't just instinctively hit that dislike button. I hope people are kind of able to put their any biases they might have one way or the other aside, and just recognize that did not suck. That was very, very good. Very, very solid stuff. And I can't wait to hear more of it. very exciting. Very, very exciting stuff. So, this video's dragged on a hell of a long time because of that preamble. But thank you for sticking with me, guys. Really appreciate it. One more time. Drowning Sulphur, Descendent Sunrise, Slam Worldwide. Go check it out. And obviously, if you liked it, which hopefully some of you did, give them a like, give them a follow, give them a share. Excuse me, I'm so rude. Support them in any way they can. Leave them a comment. Make it positive, please, if you wouldn't mind. And yeah, enjoy it. I'm going to go and listen to that a couple more times. And yeah, thank you for joining me, guys. Always an absolute pleasure. And I will catch you lovely people on the next one. Bye.